we will continue now with a performance called Headcount, which is written and directed by Karla Ptáček, who describes it as a part social documentary, part chitchat, and part fever dream. It is the third in a series of 7 short play scripts Karla wrote during 2020 and 2021. She says, "At the start of lockdown in London, I received a shelter-in-place order from the NHS, assigning me the status of vulnerable person, based, I imagine, on a computer miscalculation of outdated medical records. It got me thinking about the many levels of vulnerability we transit in daily life, about the merits and penalties of being somewhat assailable. This production features Roz Borley, a performing member of Southwark Playhouse Elders Group and a passionate advocate of environmental and social justice. Headcount, off you go."
All right. It was something like that.
So where were you?
I was outside on the curbside, three blocks from the dance studio, underneath the street lights. It was 9 o'clock. It was dark, and the street was deserted.
Keys in your knuckles?
Yeah, check.
So what were your options?
Okay. There's some traffic about 4 blocks down. So yeah, I could run down there, but I really don't feel like running down a deserted street. And lights are out in the dance studio, so there's no going back there. Oh shit.
Focus, Caitlin.
Okay. So if I face off with him, I can stomp on his foot.
You're joking.
That's what the instructor told us. Didn't they tell you that?
No.
Really? Oh, okay. I can poke my finger in his eye. In fact, I can poke both fingers in both eyes simultaneously. But that's going to be a bit hard, isn't it, really, with just one hand?
Christ.
Or I can kick him in the balls.
Absolutely not. We were specifically told, do not lift your leg off the ground. It unbalances you and puts you at greater risk.
The guy has a knife. I'm already at risk.
Who had a knife?
Well, he might have. Why not?
Did you have a weapon?
No.
Incredible. We're meant to defend ourselves from violent thugs just by stomping on their bloody feet.
We didn't really stand much of a chance, did we?
Not unless you're someone like Lizzie Jameson.
Lizzie Jameson, what, from uni?
Yeah, I heard she got groped by a roadie at a photo shoot for In Excess.
Oh, that was a big mistake.
Yeah, she dropped him with a groin kick and then she broke 3 of his ribs.
Wow. I was always terrified of Lizzie Jameson.
She was. Everybody was frightened of her.
You know, when I was at school, I had this classmate called Frances something or other. Anyway, we were 15 and our history teacher, Mr. Harrison, he pinned her against the wall of the art supply room and she only escaped by jamming a stick of charcoal up his nostril.
That takes precision.
Yes, and strength. It caused a hemorrhage. He had to go to A&E, never to return. Shame, really, because he was a cracking history teacher. He told us that his great-grandmother used to go to Thetford Market every Saturday morning just to watch the hangings.
Must have been for murder. No one was ever hung for sexual molestation.
What about non-consensual intercourse with a monarch? That's high treason. You hang for that, surely.
Not anymore. It's just life imprisonment now.
We're a kinder, gentler nation, are we?
Kinder, gentle nation, my arse. Back when you were swanning around the States in the 1980s, we had this referendum on hanging. And over half the voters wanted to bring it back. But the government said, nah, we're not doing that. We're civilized now.
How novel. A referendum that doesn't count.
Were you back for that mad cow outbreak?
No.
Oh, God, it was awful, just awful. Spongiform encephalitis turned your brains to liquid. Just a vile way to die.
Helen, let's not go there, please.
Yes, let's. I want to get this off my chest. No pun intended. Where was I?
Mad cows.
Right. Well, the farmers were building these huge piles of cattle and burning their beautiful, beautiful mad cows. And there's this Tory MP, wanking John Gummer, comes on telly, feeding a hamburger to his 4-year-old daughter to try and convince us beef was safe to eat and get us to go back out there and shop.
Hang on. Look, is this going to be too hot for you?
No, it's good. It's good. And point. The first kind of mad cow was erratic and aggressive behaviour. And at the very same time as this cow carnage, we had this upsurge in football hooliganism. And Germaine Greer suggested we solve these problems by eating the hooligans.
So, yes, don't turn the other cheek, eat the other cheek.
Precisely. As you know, I am a long life vegetarian, but I would consider eating one of the hooligans if I thought it would protect another young woman from being harassed by these yobs.
Ah, yeah, but it's not just yobs, is it? I mean, it could be any bloke, couldn't it? When I was pregnant, I'm walking down the street, right, and this car pulls over, and the driver gesticulates to me. So I go over to see what he wants, and it's a young Hasidic man, about my age, 32, 33, and he has this kind of wad of notes in his hand, and he says to me, "Lady, how much for a blowjob?"
What the hell?
He says, "Lady." He called me lady. I mean, I just went berserk. I mean, I just didn't know. I just said the nastiest thing that I could think of. I said, "You go fuck your mother."
Well, nobody ever says go shtup your father.
He insulted both me and he insulted my baby. And I tell you, given half the chance, I would definitely have done some die-hard retribution shit that day.
Well, you conjured up his mother's holy vajija. That must have scared him witless.
Vajija. That sounds a little bit like a cheese slice. Hang on a minute, I need a wee. Well, Helen, why do you think that men name their dicks? I don't know any woman that would do that.
When I was little, I used to call my vagina my woo. I thought all women were men with woos. We were all women.
Woman?
Dyslexic. Yeah, top up. Got by 10:30. That'll give me 12 hours of nil by mouth. No, now that was a very sad film.
Helen, we're not doing sad. We're doing belligerent.
Okay, I'm on it. How come old French women feel empowered to unveil their bodies at the beach?
Better weather?
Yes, but why do British women past 50 act like their bodies are unsightly? Where did they learn that? The French might have better weather, but they don't have better bodies. And yet there they are, these old French women in their 70s and 80s, strapped down, bronzing their enormous bosoms like they were magnificent beings. I'm never going to go topless ever again.
Helen, you don't know that.
My chest will be terrifying.
Is it too late to consider a reconstruction?
Like a crime scene.
Oh, like a precious historical building destroyed by war.
They don't do reconstructions in war zones. It's too dangerous.
Oh, we'll build a monument. Oh, you could wear a plaque.
I could see wearing a plaque. I'd have to say, here hung two slightly asymmetrical 34Bs on temporary loan to the wearer, apparently.
That'd have to be a bloody big plaque.
Did I tell you about my great aunt Edith's breasts?
Let me think. The cross-dresser?
No, that was Eunice. Great aunt came of age in the 1930s, and she bound her breasts with muslin just so to ensure all her dresses fell smoothly from the collarbone to the waist. It completely destroyed her memorial structure.
Oh, so that's a bit like foot binding.
Yeah, except instead of crippling her, it left her flat-chested for the rest of her life. Stuck at one silhouette forever.
Yeah, well, that is a cautionary tale, isn't it? If you're going to destroy your body for fashion, you better make damn sure it's for a timeless fashion.
No, timeless. We disfigure ourselves for nothing.
Yeah, voila.
Ooh, that looks good.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't cook anymore. I just, assemble. So this great auntie of yours with the flat chest, was it noticeable?
I don't think so. And anyway, we adored great Auntie Edith. She could do no wrong.
That won't be my epitaph. The graffiti on my gravestone will say, I blame Caitlin Perkins for everything. It's all her fault.
Who the hell face your grave?
Mr. Harrison?
The history teacher?
I slept with him.
The pervy history teacher?
I told the head.
You told the head what?
I told the head teacher, Mrs. Moswell, the most despicable woman. I told her I had slept with Mr. Harrison, and I had done so willingly. I emphasised that I was, complicit, and that if he hadn't tried it on with Francis Watson in the art supply room, then I wouldn't have said anything.
How awful.
Yeah, they called my parents, and of course, and the police. And then they sent me to this psychiatric social worker who was really large. I mean, I'm sure it must have been obese. And I couldn't look at her because at that time I had this weird phobia thing about weight. And because I couldn't look her in the eye, she thought I was ashamed. But I wasn't. I loved having sex with Mr. Harrison. He was so tender, so fucking sexy. He helped me find my style. I mean, can you say that? Is there a fucking style? I don't know.
How long did it last?
Oh, about a month. I think he had a crush on me. I made him laugh.
What happened to him?
Mr. Harrison? Nothing. I mean, I suppose they fired him, but nothing happened. It was 1970. Maybe they gave him a caution or a fine.
Bloody hell. And everyone knew.
Oh, God, yeah. I spent the rest of my school years honing myself into a freaking fierce force of nature.
You excel at fierce, Katie.
Thank you. I do. I didn't miss anything, really, because by the time I got to sixth form, all the girls in my year were busy having these age-appropriate relations, which meant that every Friday night they went out and they got blind drunk in order to get laid by some pimply-ass boys. Getting laid. Like a frigging paving stone. Do you know, We didn't have one drink, me and Mr. Harrison. We didn't have one. We didn't even need it.
What he did was wrong, though.
I only regret the fallout. Wouldn't have missed Mr. Harrison for the world.
But after you, he tried it on with that Francis girl. And how many others were there?
You don't have to tell me what it looks like.
It looks like serious sexual assault. What else could it look like?
He didn't attack me.
Okay, you were complicit. Okay, but you were also only 15. Have you never heard of grooming?
Well, it wasn't like that. I shouldn't have told you.
No. Bloody hell, Caitlin, what am I supposed to do with that?
I'm sorry. Can we just start again?
Well, bloody well have to, won't we?
Do you want some dessert?
No. I want to read my memorial speech.
Me too.
To my breasts, I remember. I remember the shock when you first emerged. A little late at 15, but at last I had the excuse to go and purchase that most alluring of contraptions, a brassiere, only to send it up in flames a few years later. Your arrival softened the angles of my teenage body, signaling the stirrings of grown-up desires. So many unexpected pleasures. We had some bloody great times, didn't we? And then there was that period when you were scarcely mine, suckled and pummeled through milky tears by teeny tiny lips. You've changed a lot over the years. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for being always there. Through every decade, you made everything hang better. And I love you, both of you, very much.
To Helen's breasts. Cheers.
Wow.
Thank you.
Oh, bravo, 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 brava. Thank you so much to you both.
Thank you.
Again, it's enlightening to have seen it twice. I have discovered a lot of new things there. So much humor and also so much tragedy and darkness in the text. There's time for questions of people in the audience here. If someone wants to share, comment, please. We have a few minutes so people can open the mics or the video and just directly ask to our performers.
Well, they can put their cameras on.
Yeah, please put the cameras on. Yeah.
We'll go to gallery view.
Yeah. There. There's people on the chat saying clap, clap, bravo. Bravo, Karla and Roz. Thank you so much. Thank you. Love this performance. Thank you. Great directing and acting. Great performance, you too. Yeah, bravo. Thank you, Karla and Roz.
We just want to see our mates. That's why we want the cameras on. Hi, Nina. Hi, Hilary. Hi, everyone. Okay, if there aren't any questions, we could move on then, if you like, Karin.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So we have for our next, we have...
There must be a question. Helen says there must be a question. Oh, there must be a question.
There must be questions.
Well, I'll ask Roz a question if you like.
Violeta is raising her hand. Violeta, yes?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. I love it because I saw twice and always I found different things. I love the text, but I wonder how do you feel, because you do twice today.
3 times.
3 times. And how do you feel in terms of, I mean, because require a lot of attention, a lot of, I mean, different kind of to be in the scene.
Well, it's short, but there is a lot of balancing. Laying on my back, I'm balancing like this. You know, there's a lot of balancing. There's a lot of prop manipulation for me, and luckily, Roz there gets to be the oracle who just sits there drinking wine. But I'm getting better at prop manipulation by the third. You know, I'm less likely to not peel the egg in time. And it's about getting the egg, the boiled egg, in the camera and still remembering your lines. So it's just, there's a very close square of interaction in which to get all the little props visible and interesting. And also because we're working in a realistic kind of framework, that, you know, that's the genre, sort of realism. It's got to look as though I know what I'm doing.
You did. The cutting the egg was chillingly brilliant.
Yeah.
Helen says here that that's why you have to keep both feet on the ground, Karla, for the balancing.
It's good to be able to do it several times though, Violetta, because, you know, it's very short and so you can still find little nuances. I come from a background of repertory. When I was a young woman, I did repertory and we used to do up to 6 different plays a week, different plays in repertory. I mean, I don't know how, I could never remember even one play now, I should think, but and it's a really good, it's good for your mind and your muscles. What do you think, Roz?
What? Sorry.
What do you think about doing it 3 times?
Oh, God, I think it's interesting because you can build it up. It's sort of, it feels like it got better as it went along, kind of thing. So yeah, it was fine. Just a bit of tension in between, but otherwise, building it up, I think, was quite helpful, really.
I have a confession here. In my house, there's a hen party going on. My eldest daughter's getting married. There's a hen party going on this weekend. And in between, I made jalapeno cornbread. And all this other stuff is going on outside. So this feels like a very calm space to be compared to...
Vicky Smith says...
Yeah,
Vicky Smith says, I really like the camera angles and the change in space when you interact with the camera. Bravo. Yeah. And Helen says, such a big knife for such a small egg.
Yeah. Well, the knife, they're all symbolic. They're all chosen with a purpose, like the, you know, the knife. And there's got a thing about going for a pee. Somebody once told me that women always hold themselves. They don't go to the toilet. You know, they hold their and their bladders get strained, whereas men always go instantly for a pee. And I just thought we never see enough people in plays going for a wee, do we? So,
yes.
I thought I'd have that in it. Anyway, thank you, Magdalena, for including Roz and I. We enjoyed this no end.
I did, yeah.
Thank you.
There's lots of people congratulating, giving congrats to you both, appreciating a lot the humor. Also, Karla, what I just said. Leticia said, I need to say, Karla, your voice is very beautiful. I'm not the only one who is in love with your voice. Janela says, what? Katia, Janela has a teenager voice. Yeah, congratulations. Thank you, Karla. It's great to have you and Roz here, says Helen, and on behalf of the team, it's we're very grateful for you both being here performing, and for me it's amazing to see it again. I enjoyed it so much the first time, and this time I was laughing my ass off the first half of the I'm like, I have like accumulated laugh, like, yeah.
The translators, thank you all.
Yes.
Say bye-bye.
Thank you all. Thank you.